What's up guys, Justin here. Today I'm going to be bringing y'all a new deck profile of one of my new toys and new favorite decks. Galaxy Blaukluger. I've really never played Nova Grapplers before, but I was a huge Gundam Wing fan and blue's my favorite color, so blue Gundams. It's common sense. So anyway guys, let's go ahead and get into it. We'll start with the starter, Morgenrot. It's the best starter to use. Some people still prefer the Ride Chain starter, but it doesn't move out of soul, and it's +1 fetching out the grade 2. Is very situational. You have to ride the grade 1 of the Ride Chain to get that. So I prefer Morgenrot because it's a 5k boost. Not very good with the rear guards in this deck, in this build, but he gets you a +1 every turn that your Vanguard hits. If y'all don't know what he does, he moves out, of course, and any turn that he's on the field and your Vanguard hits, with your Vanguard with Blau in the name hits, you counterblast 1 and search the top 3 cards of your deck for a card with Blau in its name and add it to your hand. It doesn't even have to boost the Vanguard, so it can be to the side as long as the Vanguard hits. And that's every turn. It doesn't go to the soul, it doesn't retire, it just stays there. And you get to do that every turn for the cost of counterblast 1. So even though it's a really counterblast heavy deck, it's still the best starter to use, and there's ways to, you just have to play it smart. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump to the 3s. In this build, I run 3 Galaxy Blaukluger. Of course, I would like a 4th, but I'm running something else in its place right now until I get it. Galaxy Blaukluger is the big pressure card. It's the cross ride of Stern, and it's the big finisher, the big pressure card. Limit break decks, you keep them at 3, keep them out of their limit break, and you just pressure them. Because his effect is, while at limit break, as long as he's your Vanguard, if any one of your Vanguard, rear guard, anything hits, you counterblast 2, discard 2, and restand your entire Vanguard column. It's amazing, and it's really good pressure. They can't let anything hit, especially with like the trigger lineup you run in this deck. And his second skill is he's a 13k base as long as Sternbach Weaver's in the soul. So I run 3 of him. Right now I'm running 1 Mond. It's the break ride of the deck. It's a really good card, but I don't like it in Galaxy. It's better in the Immortal Assure Kaiser build. His skill is when another grade 3 rides on top of him and you're at limit break, and your Vanguard declares an attack, counterblast 1 and restand all your Nova Grappler rear guards. Really great skill. It just kind of conflicts with Galaxy sometimes, and I just prefer the cross ride build. I'm not saying it's a bad card, it's just not for me. And it will become a 4th Galaxy eventually. It is a pretty SB. And the last 4 grade 3s, I run 4 Sternbach Weaver. He's a really good mid-game pressure card, as long as the regular Blaukluger's in the soul. It's an 11k. And his skill is, first of all, it's not a limit break. His skill is, when he hits, counterblast 2, discard 2, restand him and the unit boosting him, but he loses Twin Drive. It's a really good mid-game card. You can crit your opponent to really put them in a bad position and then restand him with crit, or even double crit, and it's just a really fun card, and they waste a lot of cards. Excuse me. A lot of cards early game guarding him. And of course you need him in the Soul of Galaxy to have it, the 13k base. For pluses, going on to the grade 2s, I run all Blaus. So right now I'm running 4 the grade 2 Blaukluger. I need 3 more doubles. This is easily like my favorite artwork in the game. It's my favorite card in the game. It's because I love that. Its skill is, it's a 10k if Blau Panzer's in the soul, and while he's on Vanguard, if he hits, you unflip the damage. So you ideally want to ride him turn 2, attack with Morgenrot anywhere on the field. Morgenrot's skill activates if it hits, counterblast 1, search the top 3, add a Blau to your hand. Then you activate his skill, unflip a damage, and it's a really good combo with the next grade 2, Mars Blaukluger. I run 3 of them. His skill is, if he's on rear guard and your Vanguard with Blau and its name hits, counterblast 1, restand him, and he gains +5. So if you have Blaukluger on Vanguard, Mars on rear guard, and Morgenrot back here, you swing, it hits or it doesn't hit, whatever. You swing and they let it hit, counterblast 1, activate Morgenrot skill, search something out, unflip the damage with Blaukluger, then counterblast 1 again, restand Mars +5. You only need 1 counterblast for that turn 2 combo, and I love doing it. So run 3 Mars, just because you run 3 Mars and 4 Blaukluger, just because you want to ride this, you don't want to ride this. And then the last grade 2 of the deck, you can't run the 12k attackers, so you just run the 10k vanilla. The 12k attacker, you could run it, but it doesn't have Blau in the name, so it doesn't apply adequate pressure late game with Galaxy. You run Jupiter, it's your secondary ride, because it's a 10k, and he just makes good columns with everything but triggers and Morgenrot. And he's a good 10k beater, and there's really no better Blaus to run. So that's 11 grade 2s, and then your grade 1s run 4 Blau Dunkelheit, the perfect guard. It's amazing artwork. And then I choose to run 3 Blau Panzer. His skill is, his first skill doesn't matter because you use Morgenrot as the starter. But his second skill is when you place him on rear guard, you can discard any grade 3 to add a Stern Blaukluger from your deck to your hand. So it can be used to deck thin. If you have 2 Galaxies in your hand and you want to cross ride, ditch one of the Galaxies for a Stern, or you can ditch Stern for Stern just to deck thin. And if you ride him turn 2 and then ride Blaukluger over him, Blaukluger becomes a 10k, so it's better defensively. And he's a good 6k booster. And also you need to max out on the amount of Blaus. You want to maximize on the amount of Blaus in your deck, so you don't not hit a Blau off Morgenrot's skill, because it really sucks to waste that counterblast and then there's not a single Blau in the top 3. So that's why I run 3 him. And then the last grade 3s of the deck, well, the last 7. So I run 14 1s, I'm sorry. You run 4 Tough Boy, because he makes good cross-ride numbers. Behind if you go first and you ride Stern and your opponent's on a 9k grade 2, this behind a Stern with a Blaukluger in the soul is a 19, so they're most likely going to let it hit, and it just applies maximum pressure. Behind a Jupiter on rear guard, it's hitting cross-ride 18. Behind anything else, at least 17. And behind a cross-ridden Galaxy, it's hitting 21. So really good, really good. And then the last 3 spots are 3 Claydol mechanics, because it's a good 7k booster, and it's really good late game. You call it, and you get unflip the damage. If you're at 5 and you only have one open counterblast, your opponent thinks they're safe, you drop a Claydol, unflip that damage, and they're like, well, crap. So that's 14 1s. And now onto the triggers. And a lot of people aren't going to like this, but I run 4 crit, 4 crit, 4 more crit, and 4 more crit. At first I tested it 8 crit, 4 draw, 4 heal. Didn't like the draws, took them out for more crits. So then it was 4 heal, 12 crit. That was really good. But I healed out a limit break a couple times. So that kind of made me mad in games where I could have restood and I was in perfect position to win the game because they only had like 2 cards in hand and I just pushed them to 5 and Galaxy was restanding and I was just mad. And also, Novelle's becoming a big thing, so those useless late game heal, I don't know, they're not useless heals, but I would just rather, this is a pressure based deck, and I would rather just push, apply as much pressure as possible, especially for like the turn 3 Stern, it restanding if you hit double crit, it's amazing. I've rode Stern, and my opponent dropped a 2 to pass, I've double crit him and restood, all to Vanguard restood, won the game right then and there. So just amazing pressure, and Of course, the red lightnings, they're there for the just in case you have to soul charge and unflip it damage. So that's amazing. Then the rest is just you just choose whatever crits you want to run. These are my favorite artworks. I need 2 more promo Shining Ladies because I love the promo alt art. And yeah, guys, that's my Galaxy Blaukluger deck. That's my take on it anyway. I hope I did a good enough job explaining my decisions. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments down below. And thanks for watching, guys. But for now, this is Justin for Team Shenanigans signing out.